I'm Paula.
And I'm Dean.
And we're originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. We started about 6 years ago looking to move international. And we started looking at Mexico, Costa Rica, Spain, Portugal, Italy.
We actually fell in love with Prague at one point.
We fell in love with Prague. And we have 8 children back in the States, and we didn't want to move that far away from home. And we have 3 living parents, so we didn't want to be a 13-hour flight away. So we were looking closer. And then all of my research online, I kind of spearheaded all that.
She did.
And I'm like, where should we go? And then all of a sudden, Jackie's name just kept coming up in all of my research. Look at Jackie, look at Jackie. And so we're like, what is this tour? Let's go do this tour. And we signed up for the tour. And then our tour got canceled because of circumstances in 2020. And we finally got on the tour in September 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And we did the whole bus tour, stayed 3 extra days, went over to, we did that little taxi ride.
Yes.
Over to Bocas del Toro.
Bocas del Toro for a few days.
Yeah.
At the end of the tour.
Yeah.
And Bocas is a great place. We've been from the city all the way to Bocas, and we have and lots of places in between, and we've continued to do that. This is actually, moving here was our 5th trip down.
Mm-hmm.
So we've known of people that have come to Panama. We've seen the videos. We've talked to many people. They come to Panama literally sight unseen. They show up with a few suitcases, they plop them down, and they're like, okay, this is home. Again, this is our 5th time down, and the 5th time down was to buy a home, to actually buy a house, freestanding house, and
that
we had found on a prior visit, and we were going to finalize that, and we decided just because we needed some place to stay, we ended up here at Rio Mar here in San Carlos, and within a few days realized this is home.
We went to church with a lady from Panama in the States.
Mm-hmm.
And she kept talking about this area she lived, and we're like, well, we're going down there to look at this Rio Mar property. And she goes, that was the beach that my family went to when we were kids. She goes, it's the most beautiful, perfect beach. And we had not been here yet. And when we got here, we had been up and down this whole coast, just looking for our area. And we're white sand beach people, and we've been to all the Caribbean destinations. And we thought, we're just not gonna find that on the Pacific. And we got down here, and you go all the way down to Santa Clara, where the beaches are more white. And then you come up towards Casa Mar, and then Rio Mar, and Vista Mar, and Ensenada. And something about this beach, just there's energy. You've got kind of a mixture of the more white sand and then the black volcanic sand that's magnetic. And there's just such a good energy here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I call it my Pirates of the Caribbean beach. I feel like a kid, you get out here and you've got caves, and you've got the black sand, and you've got the cliffs, and it's just like, of all the places we've traveled, this is one of the most beautiful pieces of beach that we've ever experienced.
And it's a different beach every day. Every day the tide comes in and goes out.
The scenery changes every day.
We walk down one day, and then the next day you walk down and you're like, what has happened to the beach? It looks totally different. And we love that. You never get bored with it.
No, never.
It's different than some of the surrounding communities, though, because there's golf on each side of us. We're not golfers, so we chose not to be on a golf course. There's a children's playground, but there's not like a water park for the kids, so it's much more adult oriented, I would say. There are some children around here, but only on the weekends. It feels like an all-inclusive, but we live here. I'm still pinching myself. We live here.
We reach up and go, when's the flight home? There's nothing scheduled. This is where we live now.
When we were searching, we had a budget in mind, but we didn't know if we were going to purchase or rent or what we were going to do. We thought we were coming to buy a home, and then we found this place. And this was the one that stole our heart.
And we saw all the different styles. I mean, everyone has a different style, that's totally cool. We were not looking for a particular style. We knew we kind of liked a bit of a more of a modern look. We knew that in certain situations, a very standard Panamanian look works perfectly for the type of home or the type of setting. You wouldn't want anything else. But here, we walked into here and saw this almost, I don't know, a kind of a very city feel about this. But I call it the condo in the country, is what I've always called it. We've got a condo in the country. And it has a very unique feel about it. Again, the grounds here are very well manicured. The management here is just top notch.
Incredible.
The concierge, as they have someone in each building, and in each building, it's just each building is unique to itself, from the residents to the concierge to just the whole vibe between each building. But everything here is just so well manicured. You start walking the grounds and you kind of want to pinch yourself or wonder, is this even real grass? Is this AstroTurf? Wait a second, this is real grass.
All the time.
But I was very particular back home. The people that are watching this, people that know me, would understand this. I was very particular back in the States at my own home. I liked a very golf course type of a lawn, everything trimmed, everything. And so to have my home and to have control over a house here and be able to manage my own lawn was kind of a goal. But then when I realized that I could live here and not have to mess with it, and everything's so well manicured, I can wake up every day and kind of look at the landscape here. Oh yeah, I was like, that was just another plus here at Rio Mar.
And we came in, there's 2-bedroom complexes and 3-bedroom complexes. And all the A sides of the building are 2 bedrooms and the B sides are all 3 bedrooms. And we actually looked at a 3-bedroom thinking we needed more space. You know, we come from the States. You have to have tons of space and tons of storage. And we ended up choosing the 2-bedroom because it's all we need.
And the floor plan here is this particular unit is very open in the front. So it does kind of have that Panamanian vibe in a sense, as far as how the layout is. You've got lots of room for family up front, so you can have a lot of people over. The bedrooms are, even though they're a good size, they're in the back of the unit, and you know, you go there to sleep and you get ready. There's 3 full bathrooms here. It's a 2-bedroom, 3 full bath.
This unit was in the upper 3s, and I don't think it would be easy to find a unit here below that. So, I mean, we definitely invested more up front. We have an HOA fee, just under $500 each month.
It's kind of the wild, wild west here, as far as real estate goes sometimes. I mean, you can go just across the hall, you can go across the street, or you can take off and go, you know, 100 miles in either direction, and you're going to find different price points depending on where you're at or what somebody feels like I feel like this is what it's worth. And so we had that conversation after looking at 11 units in here. We found that it varied quite a bit. It
varied a lot.
Some folks were very proud of their units, and they were asking quite a bit, and other people maybe they were in a bind. Maybe they needed to let it go. So we just happened to be in the right place at the right time, and somebody was wanting to kind of move on, and we ended up feeling very blessed, very lucky.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Something that we haven't experienced a lot of since we've been here is rain.
Oh, but the thunderstorms are
incredible. And the lightning across the sky for as far as you can see, lightning.
Yeah, this whole side of our condo is glass, and we look out over the Pacific Ocean, and the thunderstorms are
priceless.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing like, and you know, we're from
lightning
the Midwest.
Shows.
Midwest, tornadoes, supposed to be harsh weather. And we haven't seen a lot of the thunderstorms from Indiana, where we're from, in years.
Yeah.
And we come here, and in 3 months we've gotten caught up.
My son lives in Northern California, and he always says, "Mom, I miss the thunderstorms." I'm like, you need to get your booty down here.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
And speaking of sons, you know, you have concerned family back home, and one of Paula's sons reached out and he says, "But Mom, are you safe?"
Are you safe? And
one of the things that we can say is we felt safe from the first time we came to Panama.
Absolutely.
I asked one of the hosts on the bus, I looked over and I saw basically what I thought was military. And they were hanging out by a truck and a couple of motorcycles, and they were all packing pretty heavy in digital camo. And I was like, So how much crime is here? Like, is that necessary? And they were like, oh, that's why you don't see a lot of crime here, because you go to every bank, every shopping mall. Where were we at the other day? So we were at a place called Conway, which Conway is very much like Target here in Panama. And we happened to walk through the mall where the Conway was, and we did some shopping, and we brought some bags back out to the vehicle. And at every single door, there's a security guy standing there. And lots of times the security guy gets the door, which is great. Hey. They get the door, welcome. And in the mall you go, or into the bank you go, or whatever. And as we're putting the things in our car, a security guy walks up in the parking lot. And he asks where we're from, and welcome to Panama. And we're putting our things in the car, and he's basically like, I got an eye on your car if you're going back in.
And when we came out again, he was still in that parking lot, and he's like, "Bye, guys.
Bye. Yeah, see you later." And
in perfect English.
I'm 61 years old. I've never had that happen in the United States once ever. It's just not the way it works there. But the way it works here is just, you don't have worries. And like anywhere, we've been told that there's certain areas that are a little rougher than other areas, and that's to be expected wherever you go, wherever you travel. And so you learn to stay away from those places, or walking to get pizza from here. There's a small pizza place up here. Do we plug it?
So good.
But there's a small
Don
pizza
Vito's.
place.
It's incredible.
Yes, incredible. And we'll you can walk back and forth to Don Vito's. You come walking back, and it's 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
Women walking alone at night.
All the way back out to the Pan American Highway out here.
There's a lot of people that walk on the Pan American.
But you see the ladies walking by themselves back and forth.
Yeah. Lots of bicycles.
Yeah, no
on the
fear.
sides of the roads.
No fear. Everybody's good. You just wave and keep going.
Just when you walk in a room, say buenas.
That's right.
And you fit in.
Yep. And if you don't, you're rude.
Well, where we chose here in the beaches area, if we go, what is that, east, 15 minutes, we're in Coronado. And if we go west, about 18 minutes, we're in Rio Hato. And there's very perfectly furnished grocery stores in either direction.
Beautiful grocery stores.
There's hardware stores, pharmacies.
Pretty much anything and everything for everyday living you can find.
Well, if you go east, you can find Domino's, Subway,
Papa John's,
Cinnabon.
We're plugging all the American,
all the places we don't eat at, because
McDonald's.
There is. And then the other way, it's much more fondas, which are the little roadside restaurants,
which are wonderful.
Which we actually really love.
One of our favorite places the other day, Paula and I both, hey, let's check this one out. So we roll into the fonda. We have a wonderful, both of us are at plates that are very, I don't know, not to offend anybody, but very Midwest style, full plates of food.
Yeah, they're buffet plates.
And we both had a soda or cola or whatever you like to call it. And it was $10.50 for both of us to eat at the fonda, and we were stuffed.
We didn't finish it.
It was hard to finish.
Yes.
So the
next time we went, we split it. So it was $5.
We did split it. Generous serving.
And we still didn't finish it.
We still didn't finish it.
But you can also go 5 minutes down the road and have a $50 steak.
Absolutely.
But I love to cook. So I brought my ice cream maker. So all of our friends know that I'm always making some
specialty
crazy flavor of ice cream. And we can find all of our natural fruits and vegetables at the little vegetable stands. Or if you can't find it at a vegetable stand, you can buy the things that have been brought in, or you can find all organic. You can find anything you want here. Anything
and everything, pretty much.
Our hobby, someone asked us earlier if we ever get bored. No. Because we like to go, oh, look, there's a whole shopping complex there. Let's go every single shop.
Yes, in and out, up and down every single aisle, especially in the first few months that we've been here.
Well,
pretty much every time we go
every time we go out.
And so people are like, wow, you've been all over Panama, or how do you know about these items, or where to find these items?
Because we're like, we've been in every shop up and down.
You could come down here and you could retire, and you can find your little spot, and you can hang in your hammock on your porch and just sway back and forth and just love life. But you've got to, people are like, well, where did you find this? Where did you find that? How did you know about this? How did you know about that? Again, it's like continued boots on the ground here. Just get out, take a day and just run up and down, and just pop into places and look around. Ask a lot of questions. And again, continue to network with your friends here. Like, where's the best doctors, dentist? I mean, some of those main things, optical, everything's within reach here. We've got a great doctor. Let's tell our doctor story.
Which one?
Well, Paula and I got here, and both of us were, after we were here
I think we detoxed from the stress.
We were here
home.
about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, and both of us came down like, what are we coming down with?
Bacterial infection.
We both of us had like a bacterial infection.
I think our systems were just exhausted.
I guess. So, but we found to go to the doctor here. It was just literally got us in. Hey, we can get you in the next day. We went in. I went in. They wanted to make sure it was not they wanted to make sure which one it was. Was it viral or bacterial? So I got a blood test. And I was
so they knew what was going on.
They knew exactly what was happening to me. They didn't realize that I got 2 breathing treatments because I was totally congested and clogged up and just gross. I had a fever going on, so something was totally off.
And then they got me some medication.
Pharmacy was right next door.
Right next door.
We were literally there for, what, about an hour
total. Including pharmacy.
And that was the breathing treatment, everything, and went to the pharmacy, and the grand total was dun-da-da-da.
Well, it was $127 because we got a ginger ale.
Yeah, the ginger ale was $1.
It's $1.
So $127, and we had all of those services done, and it was
the services, the blood work, the urinalysis, the breathing treatments, all the medicine. $126 for both of us.
Yeah.
And the ginger ale, which was vitally important at that moment.
And everybody was super professional, super patient. You didn't feel rushed.
They were incredible.
And, you know, I'm not, you know, I could sit here and go on about, well, in the States, but you do feel a little bit rushed in the States. You got an appointment, you hit it, they hey, I got somebody right behind you. Let's get in and out.
And everything's very pharmaceutical.
And as far as viral and bacterial, sometimes they just go, let's flip a coin. I'll give you an antibiotic, let's just to make sure. And next, and here it was.
It wasn't like that at all.
It was not like that here at all.
I find the care to be very thorough here.
Very thorough.
And there's a lot of more natural choices here.
They tend to lean on natural choices.
They tend to lean on that. And I'm on hormone replacement because of my age and had a surgery, so my body doesn't produce the normal hormones. So I found bioidentical hormones down here, which I've seen people asking those questions online. They are available here. And since we've been here, my thyroid has started working again. So they're cutting my thyroid medicine. I don't need as many hormones because I think, my personal opinion, the food is more natural and you're living a different pace of life here. So your body starts to function again and starts to feel healthier and actually producing the hormones and the vitality that it needs. So we chose to go on the tour because Dean needed to see it. He needed to go through the tour, ask all the questions, get all the answers all in one spot. And he's not somebody that's going to sit down and read all those things online. I, on the other hand, when you take the tour, you also get the online guide, but you can just purchase the online guide separately. And we have friends that are here that have not bought the guide and have spent so much money trying to get the information right.
Trying to figure it out on their own.
Yeah, how to do this the right way and the most cost-effective way. But that guide, even still today, I'll pull the guide up and go, okay, I need to figure out how to get the license plate on the car that we shipped in, or how do you do your driver's license, or the first week I was here, I got a speeding ticket and I had to figure out how to pay for the speeding ticket. I went to the guide.
Yes.
And the guide told me what I needed to know. The guide is invaluable at saving you money in the long run. And the people that I know that don't have the guide have spent more than the guide cost trying to do it on their own.
Yeah, and the headaches that come with it, trying to figure it out.
Once you're here, you start talking to people and you get the best information from people that have lived here 20 years. And it's funny because usually they're like, well, we tried this, we tried this, we tried that, and then we went with this. And whatever it is they wanted to go with finally was their best answer, was the first answer in the guide.
It's in the guide.
And so we're like, there's no way we could have done this cost effectively without that guide.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jackie. So we're Christians. And in the Bible, there's 365 verses that say, do not fear or do not be afraid. And fear holds so many people back. And I can see that. I can see the more you think about something, the more you ponder it, the more fearful you get. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff going, should I jump in the water or should I not jump in the water? The longer you stand there, the harder it gets to jump off the cliff. But just jump. Just do it. Do not be afraid, because the rewards are so worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the things that I think both of us experienced is something, we were on that yellow bus cruising around with our hosts and such great people back in 21. And it wasn't until we were out of the city, down the highway, we had visited a few places, and it was what, 4 or 5 days in, we finally looked at each other and we were like, this is the place, because I had my doubts for the first few days. I did have my doubts.
And we didn't really talk about it, but we were on the bus going, I don't know. Kind of individually having our emotions, like, do we do this? Don't we do this? Is this
I'm not really sure. And it got to be about the 4th day in, and I went, this is it. Something clicked. Something spoke to me. God spoke to me. But it was definitely, this is where we need to be, and to come down here. And again, if you can, if you can't just do research. But if you can make it down here on a budget, it's very affordable to come down here on a budget and get boots on the ground and visit and get in a car or find a guide, find somebody to drive you, and just go and look. And you will ultimately find your place. It may be a few weeks, it may be a few years, but you're ultimately going to find your landing spot. And fortunately for us, our landing spot is here on the beach in San Carlos at Rio Mar, and it feels like home. It feels like home already.
My challenge to you is to be adventurous. Just do it.
Absolutely. Get out of your comfort zone. Pull together a few bucks. Come down here and experience Panama. It's the most wonderful place. There's so much more to Panama than just the canal. So get down here, hit the beach, hit the mountains. Either way, get to Panama.
Come join us, live this life.
Absolutely.